And welcome into the postgame show here on the Firebird Broadcasting Network, part of the CCIW Network, your final 74-52. Coach Jones joining us now here in the booth. Coach, multiple times you got close, you got within striking distance, you got within 10 there in the third, but they went on a little bit of a run, just couldn't quite close the gap. Talk us through what happened there in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, we got out-rebounded by a lot in the second half. I think it was 27-13 rebounding-wise in the second half. They were getting a lot of extra opportunities. We were out-rebounding them on the offensive glass at halftime, and then they out-rebounded us on the full game on the offensive glass and the defensive. So I think that was a big difference maker. Also letting them score 42 points in the paint. A lot of the times just off of transition. They hunt the paint really, really well, and we struggled to get matched up and to stop that drive, to be in gap and then be able to recover to a shooter or to just slow down that initial transition drive.
And it was noticeable. You talked about it seemed like the second half went better on the transition defense. Really, it felt like there was just moments in the game where Illinois Wesleyan strung together a couple turnovers, and they were able to score off those turnovers, and that felt like that made the difference in the third quarter. What'd you see there? Yeah,
exactly. I mean, we would score, and then they would get a quick turnover or force a turnover, or we would get a stop, and then we turn the ball over, and so it's just we couldn't string those together. And then once you do it a couple times, and then you see the score kind of balloon up, that's a tough spot to be in. And just knowing how they press, they're relentless in that. And so as a player, you got to stay poised and move on from the next one. And hopefully we can just learn from this, take care of the ball better the next time, not give up so many rebounds, and be in a better game the next one.
And offensively, Malia Green, another bright spot. But how about Brecken Carcello coming off the bench, chipping in 6 points, doubled her season output. What'd you like from on the offensive side tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Malia obviously carried us offensively. I said in the huddle, like, she did a great job on White, number 2, picking her up in the full court. She's averaging 16, I think, a game, and to hold her to 4. So for Malia to be able to do that, have the offensive output and limit opportunities defensively for one of their top players, I think says a lot about Malia. But yeah, then Brecken comes in and gives us some good minutes. She's been having good practices and things, and so rewarding that opportunity, and she gives us another different look. And so I think we can mix that up a little bit just to give us a different look. Teams don't know that as much, and so we'll look to do that, I think, a little bit more moving forward.
Looking ahead to this weekend, you have Augustana coming to town. Again, you guys are still right in the thick of it for jockeying for postseason play, and you got a lot of CCIW left to go. What are you looking forward to against Augustana?
Yeah, I mean, another home game is always beneficial, but that's a crucial one because we are right in the fight to get into that 6-team tournament. And so we just got to get refocused, get back to us. I think we've struggled a little bit these 2 games, taking care of the ball, just not playing hard enough. We got to play harder for 40 minutes, and we know what that looks like. We've had games where it looks like that, and so that's the benefit is we can go back to those games and think about what did that feel like? What was I doing? What was working? And we just got to go back to that. Just focus on the basics of our offense, of our defense to be able to get the win. I mean, Augustana is playing really well. I don't know where they ended up tonight, but they're playing really well, and they play a really aggressive style defensively, just like Wesleyan does. Not as much of a press. Sometimes they throw that out there. I shouldn't say that. But it's more of a zone press. But in the half court, they're super aggressive, and so we just have to handle the ball better to be able to get things offensively.
The stat update just went final 58-46. They defeated Wheaton. So it'll be a fun one this weekend, Coach, and have a good next few days, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. And Eric, before we wrap things up here, let's go over kind of what we saw today and what Coach Jones said. And again, I think the biggest thing is, like you said, it's a full 40 minutes, and we've seen the flashes. We've seen them victorious this season. Already 2 conference wins. We know, and they know they have the wherewithal to do it. It's just, when those 8-point run happens, like 2 times the Titans had 8-point runs, okay, how are you going to respond to that? And I think it's finding their way and navigating their way through that will help them find that success.
Yeah, and I mean, you take a look at the overall turnover numbers. I mean, Carthage only 1 more turnover than Illinois Wesleyan. It just felt like when Illinois Wesleyan got those turnovers, they converted them. And you take a look at the 22-point loss, a big chunk of those, I would say, felt like they came from those opportunities that Illinois Wesleyan created themselves.